Well, hello everyone. Forgive me for being a little bit late. Welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. And this is a special that I've put forward on for you today. So I've got the fan on here and I moved a few things around and all of that kind of stuff. And then when I saw the time, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm a few minutes late. And then it was taking ages for my computer to start. So first of all, welcome everyone. And thank you so much for joining the show live. I can see a good few of you are here in the chat. So I'm going to go through, have a look. I am flying solo today, which as much as we love the collaborations and all that stuff, yeah, it's just nice to be have a one-on-one with you guys. Now, as you know, look, I think this is going to be very interesting. I mean, I would say that, wouldn't I? I'm an astrologer and here I am with this show, but genuinely there is some really interesting stuff going on. As you can see, I've got the charts behind me here, so it's gonna be a combination of things. We're gonna go through. We're going to look at the charts of Biden. We're going to look at the charts of Harris, and we're going to look at the charts of Donald. Yeah, Duck Orange. Now, one of the first things I want to say is, as I've said many times before, do not shoot the messenger. Now, look, I don't need to tell that to 99.9% of you out there, because look, we're all grown-ups here, and we all, I've been around for a couple of years now on this channel, and you know what to expect. I just say what I see. I don't have any kind of political favors for this that. I mean, obviously I want the Democrats to do well and win and all of that kind of stuff, but for me, my job is to look at the energies, to describe the energies and what's going on. I hope you like the new backdrop. Can you see just something a little bit subtle? And I hope you like the new light display as well. It's, I mean, it genuinely does look like a nebula, doesn't it? So, of course, I love my astrological things. Before I kick off as well, I just want to say a thank you as well to all the new subscribers. This has been amazing. Each week, I keep saying to myself, I must thank everyone. But, you get into the flow of the show with the collabs and stuff like that, and it goes out of the mind. So thank you for that. I think I'm close to 12,000 subscribers now. So that's really amazing. Let's have a little look and see who is in the chat. And I've got a royal story as well. I had a little dream this morning, so I'm going to read that off of my phone. Quite a few of you actually joining me tonight. So again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So what I'll do is I'll click up people here. So Alchemy, hello Hogarth and everyone. Alchemy for the Soul. Jennifer, that's great. Roses and Bees coming in from Chicago. Let's see here. Someone here from Sedona. Oh, what's it? Okay. I think they were talking to someone else. Greetings here from New Jersey as well. And what I'll be doing is I'll be clicking up as well on the chat as we go. Now, what I'm going to let you know in advance, some of the stuff that I have seen here, some people may find a bit controversial. We'll have to see. I'm going to be very careful with my language and how I describe things and what I see. But there's some very interesting stuff going on, shall we say, that when I was actually studying the charts today, I was like, wow, okay, that's quite interesting. So there's that. But as I said before, we're all grown-ups here. Everyone knows my style, and I just say it how it is, because the most important thing is the truth, or what the planets are trying to show us. As you know, the great Hermetic saying is, as above, so below, which is just like the magician card. And I'll be pulling some tarot today as well. So let me go to my notes. Now, I had look, basically, this is what's happening, guys. I'm starting to get more and more psychic. It's not intentional. And as you know, I don't make a big deal of it, but I keep getting these dreams. Yeah, we all know about my Duck Orange dream. Do you remember? June 22nd, I came on and I said, look, I've had this dream of Mar-a-Lago completely kind of collapsing. There's two young women in the dream that I don't know. One had brown hair, one had blonde hair. We're all speculating over who the blonde or the brunette is. Someone said it may have been Ivanka with a brown wig on, or someone was like, maybe it's one of Trump's daughters. And then, of course, as the Jan 6th proceedings continued, the second I saw Cassidy Hutchinson, it was her. It was her in the dream. And I was thinking, well, who's the blonde then? And then, of course, that was Sarah Matthews, I think it was, who came to testify at the end. The house collapsing and all of that stuff, and Mar-a-Lago kind of having an earthquake or almost ending up under the sea, is really describing what is happening to Duc LaRange now. But first, I've got my Kate and William dream. Yeah, so a little royal story here, which I wasn't expecting to share. Oh, look, someone said here, thank you, my first life with Hogarth. Thanks for sharing your talents with us. Ah, thank you. That's very kind. That's very kind of you, Carol. Right. So let me just here. I've got my phone up, and I'm going to have a look, and I'm just going to check my notes for. Well, let me just get rid of some things that I don't need to have open, like what I got from Deliveroo. Oh, I ordered myself some lovely Chinese food today. I mean, I've been inspired. This is a slight digression, folks, happening already. There is this woman called Lizzie Key, Liziqi. I think that's it. Anyway, she is she's a content producer from China, and she produces these extraordinary videos of idyllic bliss in the countryside, and she's weaving baskets and cooking food, and all from her provenance and this, that, and the other. She's been extremely popular. Guinness World Book of Records for most watched Chinese YouTuber. She's been so successful that the Chinese government have essentially tried to co-opt her for a form of soft power, and she's sort of like in battles there. But I might put that in the description later. Just watch, just absolutely stunning, amazing videos. Don't worry about the politics. It's just something beautiful to watch. Okay, so my William and Kate dream. So I've written a few things here. I'm not sure how much it would make sense. I was bleary-eyed at the time. So this happened. I wrote these notes at 9:10 a.m. And thank you guys for joining me as well. There's over 200, well, almost 250 of you already. That's amazing. All right. So William and Kate were together but unhappy in my dream. Ooh. There was no divorce, but it was like a silent separation or some kind of agreement between the two of them. That's the sense I got in the dream. Now, you got to remember, for entertainment purposes only, this is just a dream. It could mean nothing. But I have learned now, whenever I have these dreams, it's better to say them because they tend to come true. Yeah. In the dream, there was a dame that died of bowel cancer. Now, we had, oh my goodness, her name's just gone out of my mind, but there was a famous lady in the UK. She had bowel cancer and she sadly passed away for it. She was made a dame. She was in the dream and she was driving a Mercedes, and it sort of nudged the one that Kate and William were in, but they were asleep in their car, but they weren't holding hands. They were like asleep like that, but they seemed kind of very separate in some way. What have I put here? So I sensed something was wrong, but it was like it's being kept under wraps from the public and from the Queen, because obviously the Queen's very old now, and of course they want to present a united front. And I put here, in the dream, I forgot my black shoulder bag at the tube station platform, but I had my money and keys and essential with me. My friends were concerned, but I was not worried because I knew I'd get my bag back at the end of the night or the next day when I returned. I don't know what that means in terms of the dream, but it was just unusual. But the way I interpret it, it's almost like there's a silent separation that's under wraps. No one knows, and we may not find out about it from years from now. Or maybe they're just having a bit of a tough time. Marriages go up and down. Don't read too much into that, but I just thought I would share it. Let's see if there's any news. Right. Are we ready? Are we ready to begin? Right. Now, the way we're going to go through this, I'm going to look at Joe Biden's chart first. This is his chart here. Then we're going to look at Kamala Harris. And then we're going to look at Duc LaRange. What I've done is I have set the time. The time for this is October 25th. October 25th. Why is that important? The reason why that is important is because we're going to have a big solar eclipse happening on the 25th of October. Yeah. Now, solar eclipses are all about global events, global leaders in particular, all people in significant kinds of leadership, because that's essentially what the sun represents. Government, leadership, CEOs, etc. Leaders of all kinds. Yeah, so that's relevant, of course, when we're talking about Biden, Harris, and Duck L'Orange. Yeah, let me have a quick slurp of my drink here. So there's that. And there's some very interesting factors that are going on in that at that time for all of these leaders' charts. Then we're also going to talk a bit about November 8th. Now, we know November 8th is already an extraordinarily important day. Why? Because that is the day of the midterm elections. And I've cast a chart for that as well, the exact time. Interesting stuff there. So before I proceed, let's just click up and see who else is here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Oh, someone's saying love the backdrop. Yeah, this is one of my favorites so far. And, you know, here I've got my little beads. I wanted people to be able to see, but, you know, just to have a few little sparkles there. So let's see here. Let's just see who else have we got here. So people are loving the backdrop. Thank you so much. Glad that you like it. Yeah, it is kind of very calming, isn't it? I just love having it. Hello, Harry. So nice to see you, Harry. Harry from Sidonia. And we've got Georgia here in the house. Also as well, I will pull some tarot cards. Right. As you guys know, I've not talked about Biden for quite a long time. Yeah. And for good reason. Why? Because I just get shot down if I say anything, you know, all sorts of pushback and blah, blah, blah. But what I'm going to say here, and this is no way at all, this is not going to be a Biden bash at all. And I've never really bashed Biden, although I have been accused of doing so, even though things that I've observed have come true. What we are going to talk about, and the reason why I'm doing this this live is because I've been sitting on my hands on a lot of things, a lot of information and stuff, just because the timing has not been right politically, psychologically and emotionally for a lot of people in the world. But I think enough water has passed under the bridge now. Now, one of the concerns that I have, which, or shall we say us Vedic astrologers in particular, but possibly Western astrologers as well, there are some concerns about Biden's health. Now, look, don't let that be a big trigger button for you. Yeah. And again, this is not directed at 99% of the people watching. 99% of the people watching are grown-up adults that can handle a bit of information. But there are some question marks there. And of course, we've seen that he had 2 bouts of COVID and stuff like that. But I want to show the energies that are going on behind this and why this is important and why this eclipse time is very relevant. Now, as we understand it, the planet's its energy. It's almost like gravity. When sometimes things happen exactly on the day, but really we need to look a kind of a week either side. Yeah, a week either side. So a week before the 25th of October and a week or so after. And understand that the planets are declamatory. What does that mean? They kind of come together and they create grand gestures to let one know that something significant is happening. So say, like, for example, last year when we had Lionsgate, and particularly when we had the sidereal Lionsgate, pardon me, which has just started, by the way, what is it called? The sun has moved into sidereal Leo by now, I think. Yeah, today's the 17th. And anyway, last year's Lionsgate, the Taliban came into power. You know, it's stuff like that. Anyway, energies. What I'm describing is energies. Right. So here we are. We've got Biden's chart here. Let's see if I can move it forward. Well, I can't move it too forward, but let's just see. I can move my computer forward a little bit so you can have a slightly closer look, but I think it's not too bad. Here we go. Let's go like this. Okay, can you see the charts, everyone? I think you can see it. It's not going to be perfect, but I will explain. So this is Joe Biden's chart. As we know, he was born on the 20th of the 11th, 1942, 8:30 a.m. in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Yeah, he's a Scranton boy, which we all know. What I've got underneath is my usual chart. Yeah, my usual chart here, which you've all seen before. And actually, I probably should move it back a little bit just so you can... there we are. I can see some of the... There we are. That's a bit better, but it won't be perfect. Anyway, so this is Biden's chart, sidereally where the planets were when he was born. Yeah, as you understand, Vedic astrology takes into account the movement of the stars. The stars have moved backwards by almost 23 degrees in the sky, making tropical Western astrology 24 degrees ahead of the sidereal placements. Yeah, so everything moves back by almost a whole sign. The overlap is 6 degrees. Anyway, now look, there's some really interesting stuff going on here, folks. Yeah, now what we need to understand is, what are eclipses? Eclipses are like, you know, when you have static build up on the computer, you've probably heard me say this before, and maybe it freezes a little bit like that. And what's the classic thing? When the computer stops working or your phone stops working, you switch it off and switch it on again. Yeah, it's like a reboot, isn't it? It's like a reboot. Eclipses are similar to that. What they can do is they can reset things. It is also when Rahu and Ketu, the north node and the south node of the moon, cause the eclipses. In Vedic astrology, they have the dignity of half planet. So what that means is that they don't have physical bodies, but they're very shadowy and unusual and otherworldly. And they are the only entities that can eclipse the sun or the moon, which are the luminaries. The sun is all about leadership, manifest events here on earth, etc. The moon is about the public and the emotions and all those kind of things. When the eclipses happen, it's like a reset. Things can come out of the dark. For example, one of the best times to study the sun is when it is eclipsed, because that's when the blinding light is eclipsed, and then you get to see the aurora, you know, almost like the aurora, you know, around the sun. So what it can mean is things come out of the dark. It can mean resets, unusual events, sometimes shocks and surprises. Yeah. This eclipse is interesting because this is going to be a Ketu eclipse. Here's Ketu, which has been going through. Now, Ketu is the south node of the moon, and remember, my nickname for Ketu is Snip Snip. Yeah, takes things away. Rahu I call Gobble Gobble. Yeah, wants more things, eats things. So this is a Snip Snip solar eclipse. The sun represents what? Leaders. Where is this happening? It is all happening here in sidereal Libra. Sidereal Libra. Joe Biden is a Scorpio rising. It means Mars rules his chart. Yeah, he's a Scorpio. So that means that this eclipse for him is happening in his 12-6 axes. Yeah, 12th house, 6th house. First house is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. So it's happening like this. What does the 12 houses and 6th houses do with? Broadly speaking, the 6th house deals with enemies, illness, sickness, but overcoming obstacles. It deals with health. It deals with competition, but it can also deal with legal battles. It's all about fighting. Yeah, the 6th house is all about fixing and fighting and overcoming things. Yeah, this is why it can deal with enemies and battles, but it also particularly deals with health, even pets. Yeah, even pets. So there's that. What's the 12th house? The 12th house deals with endings and beginnings and endings. It's like the world card, yeah? But it also deals with foreign lands, places overseas. If I just read over here, it deals with, it can deal with loss as well, foreign lands. It can deal with secrets. It can deal with hospitals and prisons, and it can deal with hidden enemies, yeah? But it can also deal with spirituality, surrender. It can deal with addictions, but it can also deal with foreign lands, foreign income, spirituality, We know Biden's a very spiritual guy anyway, yeah? But you can see why, if the eclipses are happening in this juncture, can you see why I might be a bit concerned about Joe Biden's health? Yeah. So look, let me just flick through. Let that absorb in, and let's look through what some of the people here are saying here. So folks, let me know your thoughts. What's this? Oh, let's see here. So happy that I found you. My mum was quite a talented astrologer, but she crossed over, on October 2013. You're filling her void. Oh, thank you. That is very sweet. First of all, commiserations for the loss of your mother. I lost my mother actually, oh God, a long time ago, 2020. Yeah, when I was 20. 20, I think going on 21. I was just a boy. Took me a long time to get over that one. So when you lose your mummy, one of the things that I always felt was that you're no longer someone's baby. Yeah. So I've always have a soft spot for people's mums. Yeah, I always want to kind of look after them and stuff like that. And sometimes I'm astonished, particularly when someone's mature and their mum and dad is still around. I'm like, wow. But so I can understand that one. Thank you. That was a very kind words. What else is here? So we got hello from Arizona here. Gosh, there's a lot of you. Oh my gosh, coming up to 386 already. British Columbia. Hello from British Columbia, Canada. 35 degrees hot. Our heat wave has stopped. Thank God. We've had 2 days of rain. I've never wanted rain so much in my whole life. Happy to be inside and spend time with Hogarth. Thank you for joining me, everyone. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll do the occasional scroll through as these numbers come up. Okay, so Biden's health. Why is it a big deal? Now, if you look here, where the planets are in black, that's the natal position. That's where the planets were at the time that the native was born. Yeah. So here we've got the moon. What's the moon? The moon represents the emotions, the mind overall. The moon represents very much can have a lot to do with our psychological health. The moon affects our ability to adapt to things, to situations. It's our feelings, our emotions. The moon is immensely important. And we'll see here that on the day day of the eclipse, well, what it is that Rahu, the north node of the moon, and Uranus, sudden shocks and surprises and stuff, are in Biden's 6th house, yeah, of enemies and stuff like that. So it's not, yeah. Now look at all the cray-cray that we have seen recently. We all know now what this combination can do. Remember, Mars was here before. Mars has now moved out. Mars is now in sidereal Taurus, where he's going to stay for about 8 months. But during the solar eclipse, he's actually going to be in sidereal Gemini, right with Kamala Harris's Rahu. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So here, this can mean something unpredictable. There might be something unpredictable here. But what's most important is that if we look here, Biden's going to have Ketu, the south node of the moon, Venus, which can represent the wife or relationships, stuff like that, the moon itself, which represents the public and is also causing the eclipse, and the sun, all in Biden's 12th house, yeah, which, remember, all of those connotations that I said before can do with hidden enemies. Yeah, it's a lot of action to be going on in hidden enemies, and it's there with his natal Mars and his natal Mercury. So the eclipse is falling that way in this 6-12 axis. Now, let's just look. I don't want us to get carried away here. Remember as well, look, I'm just doing, this is astrology here. Doesn't mean it's exactly going to come true, but it's talking about the energies. We'll talk about the negative and then we'll talk about the positive. Yeah. The worry with this is that Uranus here and Rahu, they are very tricky customers. Very. When we look at Dr. Larange's chart, when Saturn moved into what was it, his 7th house, I think it was, which deals with partnerships and stuff like that, and there was something else going on with his 12th house, Ivana fell down the stairs and died. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen to Biden. However, what is, though, Uranus is very unpredictable, and he can be associated with things like strokes and heart attacks and stuff like that. I'm not saying that is necessarily going to happen, but this is in Biden's 6th house. So I just want to get this stuff off my chest and just share it. Yeah. So there's that. The 12th house, as we know, can deal with endings and losses, hidden enemies. There could be some, look, Biden's had some wins. Let's look on those positive. Biden's had some great wins. And isn't it fantastic? He's managed to pass that environmental bill. Actually, funny enough, 12th house also deals with the environment, by the way, and stuff like that. You know, rejuvenation packages, all this stuff. He's got a few wins. Duck Larange is having a terrible time. But think, what does that do in regards to Biden's hidden enemies? Yeah, they're going to be plotting, cogitating over things. However, there is a positive side to this as well. Let's look on the positive side. What it also means is, it means that this eclipse could also be having the effect that potentially Biden could be in a position where he can defeat his enemies. Defeat. Yeah. He could be working on secret plans that could destroy the opposition. How about that? 12th house is endings. It's the ability to dissolve something. Things can disappear and dissolve in the 12th house. And I'm going to mention that in Duck Larange's chart for why he's been able to avoid capture for so long. Oh, thank you. Someone's just given a donation. Thank you, Catherine Rodier. So this could also mean Biden might be working on clandestine plans that could defeat the GOP in some way. Now, if you think about it, maybe this is already manifesting already. Because remember, he worked on that deal secretly with Chuck Schumer. No, did I get that right? No, I didn't. The mansion, yeah? So remember, like, and it took everyone by surprise, because the 12th house is a hidden house. There can be all sorts of things that can go on there. And we'll have to see. So I want to focus on more that positive iteration, where could this be where finally Biden keeps having these successes that defeat the enemy, so to speak. That's the way that I would like to kind of look at this. Both could be true, but based on the evidence so far, you know, he has had these wins. So what I'm going to say to everyone, please, everyone, pray for Biden's health and security and stuff like that. The world is at a very delicate time, as we know. A lot of cray-cray has been happening. We've seen a lot of stuff, particularly when we get to Duck Larange, but we've also been seeing some positives as well, haven't we? So let's pray for the highest good on this, yeah? Mars, planet Mars, will be in Biden's 8th house. Now, that is the house of sex, death, and rock and roll, but it's also a house of transformation. We also need to understand Mars is the chart ruler here, chart ruler. So, you know, the chart ruler, in a way, is going to try and protect the native in some way. So here, with Mars in the 8th, it can mean sudden transformations, but it's also the chart ruler because Biden's a Scorpio. So he could make some sudden transformation in some kind of way that maybe potentially defeats the enemies, or enemies might be cooking something up. But I don't want us to get too down that narrative. This is just to flag up the potential energies. You know what I mean? You get it by now. But we have seen the positives of this combination as well. So let's hope that, pardon me, Biden can continue to defeat his enemies. Yeah. All right. And we're going to pull some cards now as well. And I'll just say thank you, Catherine, for your donation. Who else was this? Oh, I think it's Tiff. Oh, no, Edie. Thank you, Edie, for your donations. So, guys, I hope you're enjoying the show. Let's look through a few more comments, and then I'm going to pull some cards for Biden. Yeah? Let's see how I'm doing on time. Oh, God, half an hour in already. What's this? I do what Chinese cook. What's this? William Preens Rose Humbry Bush in North Preens. What does that mean? William Preens Rose Hanbury Bush in Norfolk. Oh, interesting. Let's see. Why the cat? Okay, so people are here having a little chit chat amongst themselves, which is great because you guys know each other. Live just got noticed authentic Chinese food. Yum. Yeah, she's called Lizzie Key. Ziqi. I think that's the one. She's very, very beautiful, and she's in the Chinese countryside. It's just incredible. Even if it's been co-opted by the Chinese, it doesn't matter. Just watch it. It's just gorgeous. I'll put a link in there. I've been watching her for days now. It's very inspiring. What's this? What was it? Damien died of bowel cancer. Deborah James, thank you. Yes, it was Deborah James. Thank you so much for that. JWB52Z. Sorry, I'm probably supposed to say that in a better way. Anyway, let's pull some cards for Biden. Yeah, want to have a little look-see? Let's see what's going on, what the energies are around, and let's see what the cards have to say. And then we're going to move on to Kamala, because look, oh my God, I've got to hurry up. I'm halfway through the show already. All right, I hope you're finding this interesting, and thank you so much for the donations, guys. Right. What's going on? Joe Biden. What is the energy around Joe Biden? Oh, cards are jumpy. For the solar eclipse. And before I forget, this eclipse, solar eclipse, is going to be happening in Putinshka's first house, the body. Yeah. And the sun is technically debilitated in the sign of Libra. This is why it's not great for leaders. So there could be some news coming out from Putinshka. Could it be that this is where the war in Ukraine peaks in some kind of way? Will the eclipse trigger some kind of event that suddenly bring things to an end? Or will it be an escalation? We'll have to see. But this will affect all global leaders, by the way. Particularly not only because it's an eclipse, but it's an eclipse in Libra. So we could hear all sorts. There could even be news on Xi Jinping, the guy in North Korea, his name has just completely escaped me. How ridiculous is that? All leaders could be affected. Might have news out of France. Who knows? There's some pictures allegedly of Macron. You already know my little theory going on there. I think there might be some news, again, for entertainment purposes only, that may come out at some point about his private life and who he likes to have bed pleasures with. Let's put it that way. I'm not saying anything more than that. All right, Biden. What's the energies around Biden for the eclipse? What can you tell us now, Spirit? All right, let's have a little look. And then I'll click up a few more comments. All right, Biden. Pull 4 cards. What's going on for Biden around this time? Let's pray for his health. Just to, it's tough being president. It's tough being president. If you look at all the presidents, all of them matured in the role, like rapidly. And of course, Biden was already mature when he started. Not that that should be an obstacle. Reagan was a mature president as well, but it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot. Let's have a slurp. Even Obama looked more mature. And have you noticed the clock has turned back a little bit since he's left the role? It's a lot of stress. Anyway, so let's look here. Oh, look. So to signify, we've got the 10 of Pentacles here. 10 of Pentacles has turned up for Joe Biden. So what's this all about? This is all about what? Family, yeah? Family, legacy. It also deals with institutions as well. It can be big organizations and companies. This can be a lot to do with government, yeah? But also as well, it's the only card that's got 3 generations on the back. So there is a sense of legacy here. So could this be that somehow Biden's legacy is further enhanced? Maybe this could be that he's working on some secret stuff. Maybe he and Kamala, which could be a surprise that could maybe enhance the legacy. So this shows as well potentially what he wants to have for America, as it were. What's the next card? Actually, let me get them all out. Very interesting. If we look here, next card is the 2 of Pentacles. So we've had the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. So this is already talking about money, investments of all kinds. But the 2 has come technically in the obstacle position. So what does that mean? So we need to look to see, imagine this is almost like Biden juggling the economy here. So we need to pay attention for news around the economy, around the legacies and stuff like that. At the moment, from what I understand it, I think petrol prices are starting to go down. And I think they've passed a bill, which is what, the anti-inflation bill, isn't it? Something like that. So maybe this could be having some kind of effect around this time of the eclipses, or maybe people are balancing their budgets, or maybe there's going to be more budgetary announcements of some kind that, you know, literally Biden is sort of like balancing out. Maybe something like that. Oh, there's 450 of you here. Thank you so much, guys. And I'm going to click up a few more of your comments as well. What is this? Full moon. Yeah. I think signing in from Detroit. Yeah, the full moon is going to be a lunar eclipse on the voting day, 8th of November. But look, here we see some kind of losses about something. Yeah, feeling disappointed about something. So could it be there might be some numbers, economic numbers, perhaps, that may be a little bit disappointing for Biden, or maybe for people, or there could be some kind of news, maybe some event around the world that affects global economies in some kind of way. Yeah. If we look here, major arcana, we've got the Hermit here. This is about research, yeah, going deep. So there could be some kind of news that makes Biden reflect or go deep, or maybe it could be maybe he gets a bit of COVID again, or something similar like that, or a bit of autumn flu. Yeah, because remember, this is going to be the fall, just when these things are going in, because this can also mean retreating as well, going within. And the reason why I say that is because the Queen of Wands comes up as the outcome card. Yep. So this is a female leader. This could be Nancy Pelosi, or it could be Kamala Harris. So is it a case of maybe, you know, Biden's on the roll, but maybe he overdoes it a bit, doesn't get enough sleep because he's doing a lot of travel, and then maybe he just needs to take a little break, you know, for a few days when someone else is and, you know, Kamala or, you know, Nancy Pelosi is in charge for a bit. Maybe it could be that, or it's just a case of that there's some news that comes out near around that time, or maybe the GOP want to do some kind of cray-cray, or someone does some kind of cray-cray, which could cause some kind of reflection of the elections that are due, you know, a couple of weeks after that time. So we will have to see. Okay. Now we're going to move on to Kamala. And let's also as well scroll through. Gosh, there's a lot of you here tonight. What's this? Craig Dixon. I wanted to ask about that. So people, wait, Hogarth. Someone's saying, wait, Hogarth, you're younger than me. I'll let you guess my age. It's a bit of a secret. I'm a bit older than I look. Let's put it that way. Let's see here. Greetings. Let's see if there's any other direct comments here. Oh, look, yeah, someone's called me hi, Hogarth. Well, my name's actually Hogarth. I know Linda G struggles sometimes to say my name. So just call me Hoagie. Yeah? Hoagie's the easy one. Hoagie like the sandwich, or Hoagie Carmichael. Oh, my goodness, we've got someone in from New Zealand. Hello from New Zealand. It's very rainy here, but we are coming into spring. Yeah, we just got some rain ourselves. Right, Kamala. Another quick slurp. So I hope you're enjoying the show. Of course, give a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, all of that kind of stuff. And again, thank you so much I've not even been asking for new subscribers. You guys have just been subscribing, which is amazing. I can't believe I'm almost at 12,000. So I really appreciate that. So if we go here, right, I've just realized, what am I going to do here? I would stand, but I'm wearing shorts. It's still very hot here. So I don't want to give you more than you're planning to see. Let's put it that way. Let's put a bit of tape on and hold that up there like that. Hopefully that's going to hold. Yes. Here we are. Kamala. All right. What's going on here? Now, I looked at Kamala's chart. This is really interesting. This is really interesting. Now, bear in mind, I am a Brit. I do not know every single nuance that is going on with the House of Representatives and rare, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. Some people hold a very high bar for these things, which is understandable, but I'm not going to know every single minutiae. I've not really heard that much about Kamala of late. My goodness, is that a new member? Ah, Rebecca Ellens. Thank you so much. Just become a new member. You've got lots to look forward to. All my teachings on the yogas and this, that, and the other, and all sorts. Anyway, I digress. So here is her chart. If we don't need any more reminding of what a beauty she is, she's very, very, very lovely lady. So if we look here, what's going on with Kamala? Now the eclipses, let's just get straight into it. First of all, Kamala is a Gemini rising. Yeah, she's a Gemini rising, which means Mercury is the ruler of her chart ruler. Yeah, so she's Gemini. What's Gemini all about? Communication, skills, curiosity, education, learning things. All Geminis are very curious and witty and intelligent in general. Now, what's really interesting here is that Mars at the day of the eclipse. Now, remember, this is exact. I did exact timings on this. So when we're talking about solar eclipse, this one, yeah, I can scan this and send this and share it on my community channel. It is exact on the 25th of October 2022 at 6:48 a.m. Exact. That is when the sun and the moon here are together, causing that eclipse, because effectively the shadow of the moon obscures our view from here on Earth. Yeah, but in Washington time, that's when it is exact, and they will be at 7 degrees and 49 minutes exactly, sun and moon of sidereal Libra. Yeah, but here Mars is going to be in Kamala's first house. It's going to be staying in Taurus for about 8 months, as I said before. Now, what's Taurus all about? Food, security, resources, money, economy, stuff like that. Mars, planet of war, is going to be there for 8 months. Remember before I was saying, look, 2022 is all going to be about food and inflation and all that kind of stuff. I said, people buy your tin cans, and then my videos got taken down. Anyway, so, but for at the time of the eclipse, it's going to be in Kamala's first house with Rahu. Rahu is the manifest point of destiny. Yeah. When it's in the first house here, when Rahu's in the first or the seventh, or Ketu's in the first or the seventh, yeah, it creates a 1-7 axis. It means one's life is more fated than the average person. Mars, planet of war and conflict, is going to be right on that Rahu during the eclipse. So for me, this is very interesting. Very, very interesting. It means there could be some kind of act of Mars, which could either be a violent act or a tactical act of some kind, that will affect her fate and destiny in some way. What I also find interesting as well is that Jupiter and Chiron the wounded healer, and Jupiter will be in her 10th house of career. But because she's a Gemini ascendant, her 10th house comes under Pisces, which is also ruled by Jupiter. So the Lord of the 10th house is going to be in the 10th, boosting her career in some way. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. So there's that. But what I find most interesting as well is that this eclipse over here is happening in her 5th house of politics. So Ketu, snip, snip, is going to be with Venus, and Venus can represent the partner in anyone's chart. And they're together with the moon and the sun. But this is also where her natal sun is as well. So there's some eclipse energy going on in the 5th house. The 5th house is creativity. It's also deals with politics and speculation and trying new things. So there's something very dynamic and unusual that could affect Kamala's career in some kind of way that is kind of fateful and unusual. So, you know, that's what I want to put across there. She's also got Saturn and Pluto in the 8th house as well, which again is the house of sex, death, and rock and roll and changes. So there's some kind of transformation potentially on its way. Could be some news around her partner or something like that. She will have Mercury in the 4th house, which is real estate, but could also be her home. Mercury is also media, and it will be exalted. Her chart ruler will be exalted. And we've got Neptune here in the 9th house, which deals with politics and stuff like that, laws and lawmakers. And it will be going over natal Saturn and natal Chiron. So again, this is something highly unusual. So it's very interesting. I'm not quite sure how this is going to fully play out. We'll have to see, but Uranus is also involved. We need to understand Uranus and Rahu are actually with Kamala's moon. She's got the same moon as Biden. They've both got their moon in Aries. So again, something unconventional, something unusual happening in her 11th house of friends and associates, something like that. Let's pull some cards and see what else the energies have to say in regards to Kamala. And then we're going to get on to Duck L'Orange. Yeah? Oh my goodness. All right. Kamala. What's the energies of the eclipse around Kamala? Let's do 5 cards for her. Very interesting energies. Quite unusual, I would say. For her, they're more unusual. Biden's a bit more clear. Hopefully he will get victory over his enemies. But let's see how the energies play out. Kamala. What's going on for Kamala? Let's have a look here. What's going on? All right. She's gone quite quiet of late. Of course, she had that little thing where she was able to cast a deciding vote, which I think was great for her. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, that way. Oh, look at this. All right. Very interesting cards. Out of 5 cards, 3 are major arcana. Let's have a slurp. This is a big deal. Yeah, big changes. So if we look here, she gets justice. So this can mean, particularly when it's the right way up, a fair judgment in your favor. Yeah. It can mean legal situations, but essentially, I mean, look, think about it. She is a lawyer. She is literally a justice. Oh, could it be that there's going to be, could she become a new justice in the future? Something like that. Well, Merrick Garland's there, isn't he? Merrick Garland is there. How would that work? I don't know. I mean, look, that's the justice card. That's all I can do is just basically say what I see. Because if she's having some transformation in her career, which could be very significant, which could potentially come round with an act of Mars, which could be violence, wars, firearms, something like, oh my goodness. What does that mean for Garland? Anyway, look, that was me just having a chain of thought here. Don't take that too seriously. But look, the justice card has turned up here. If we look here, could this be Duck L'Orange? Here we are. We've got the King of Pentacles here in the obstacle position. So obviously, Duck L'Orange is an enemy to both Kamala and Biden. Let's just face it. Yeah, he really is. But when we look here, we then get the Hierophant, which deals with government. So do you see there's something interesting here in regards to her career with government? Yeah. And so, of course, this is kind of strengthening her position in government or something like that. Or could this be where, she's really able to maybe pass legislation? Maybe she gets a lot of that casting vote thing again. And she has to be the Hierophant in this kind of case, if you know what I mean, casting that kind of final decision. Either way, there's something to do with boosting and government here. Next card, we got the card of wish fulfillment in terms of like happy families and stuff like that. So this is very much a celebration card. So when we start putting this together, some element of justice moving in regards to a character like Duck L'Orange, but this can also do with business and money. Maybe some kind of business bill is going to be passed by the government and Kamala is involved in that, and it could potentially make people happy. Could it be that the inflation bill really starts to work and we start seeing inflation come down? Maybe it could be something like that. Oh, almost 500 of you here right now. 498. See if we can get to 500. That'd be great. And then look here, the outcome card, the world card. The world is watching. So she might be completing a big cycle of some kind. Because remember, this could be endings and beginnings and endings. Yeah. But it means a new cycle. So she could be entering a new phase, a new cycle. There could be a legal element to it. Or maybe it's that she holds the swaying vote on big government legislation, stuff like that. But either way, big changes coming for Kamala. Oh, that devil card has just dropped out when I was just shuffling. Ooh, very interesting. We'll have to see. We have to see. Could be a mixed bag. Right. Duck L'Orange. Let's get my other bit of tape. Look how the time is racing. I hope you're enjoying the show, guys. Let's flip this way and get on to Duck L'Orange. It's typical. I also want to pee, but I'm just like, I just have to wait. Let's go like that, and let's go like that. Oh no, that worked. Ah, it's not long enough, forgive me. I can't stand at the moment. Let's go like that. Oh, now that's brought down that one. Ah, there we are. We'll just go like that instead. All these, can you imagine all these sharp charts I have to put together? Oh, gosh, now we just hit 5:15. Right, dark l'orange. Very interesting. So again, all the planets are going to be in the same signs at the same degree, but just different houses for each chart. Biden, Kamala, and now Duck l'Orange, yeah, which is Trump, yeah. Again, for entertainment purposes only. So if we look here, very, very interesting for him. Now, when I did one of my midterm predictions, which was a few weeks ago now, I said that because at the moment Mars is here. This one's on blue tack, easier to move. Mars is here. And I said there will be legal ramifications for Duck l'Orange because Rahu and Uranus, planet of sudden shocks and surprises, is in Duck l'Orange's 9th house, which deals with what? The law, yeah? And I said when Mars goes into his 10th house, which it now is, it moved in on the 10th of August, I said he was going to be fighting like hell for his career. Mars is going to be in his 10th house for 8 months, yeah? But on the day of the eclipse, just like with Biden and Kamala, it's actually going to be in the sign of Gemini, sidereal Gemini. And this falls into the USA Declaration of Independence chart, 7th house, which can deal with open enemies. Yeah. So again, Duck l'Orange is going to be stirring the war pot. Yeah. He's trying to kind of genie everyone up. However, it's not been working so well so far, has it? I was just watching a YouTube channel that was relaying a report on the news. Now, you know that the far-right media, shall we say, has been kind of trying to drum things up, haven't they? Trying to create these rallies and a coup situation. And apparently they wanted to try to egg everyone on to go to the FBI. Did you hear about this in Washington on Sunday, apparently? And nobody turned up. That was Catherine who gave me $20 there. Thank you so much. Nobody turned up. So I think it's because that lone wolf went out there and got shot. But you know what the other thing is? I think the penny's dropping for a lot of people. A lot of people have worked out that if the FBI are coming to your house, and remember they were saying, oh, it was a raid. It was all planned in advance. They've been trying to get access and the return of these top classified papers for months. And Duck l'Orange, Trump refused. Big trouble. Big, big trouble. Yeah, because they've tried. And now I think a lot of people are just like, wait a minute. They tried to get the thingy-bobs back. They did everything they can. Oh, it wasn't a raid. Actually, they did treat him with a lot of respect. Even some of the most rabid of people will be able to work this out. For the most fetid of the disciples of the cult of Trump, no matter what he says, they'll believe, even when he's in prison or whatnot. But he can't fool everyone all of the time, as the saying goes. Right. What's really interesting is that Saturn and Pluto are now in Trump's 6th house. Yeah. Saturn was up in Aquarius like this and then went retrograde. Yeah. Went retrograde and came back into Donald Trump's 6th house. What's the 6th house? Enemies, obstacles, litigation, fighting. When Saturn entered back here and aspected his natal Saturn, yeah, which also had Ceres is also transiting here as well. That's sadly when Ivana was no more. Yeah. Saturn is the planet of karma, planet of karmas. However, I want to share with you guys something really important. I want to explain to you why. Oh, thank you, Dream Girl, for your donation. Dream Girl 1650. Oh no, 650. Thanks so much. I want to explain to you guys why has Trump been Teflon Don? Yeah, Teflon Don. And there's a special yoga that I want to share with you. Not a very well-known yoga, but very significant. And yogas basically just mean planetary influence, yeah? Combining of energies. And it's called Shatra Huntu Yoga. Shatra Huntu Yoga. And what it means is, essentially, from what I've been able to glean with all the research that I did, not easy to find, it's when you have a malefic, so like Saturn, Mars, yeah, Saturn or Mars. Oh my God, I really do need to pop to the loo. What I'm going to do is, forgive me, guys, I need a comfort break. I'll go on a few minutes longer. 1 minute. Un momento. I'll just move here. Too much Coca-Cola. Sorry, folks. Something's on. I'm back. I'm back. Okay. Sorry, guys. Such is life. I had a delicious one of these gorgeous bubble teas about 45 minutes ago. Oh no, dripped on my pages there. Plus, also as well, my usual drinks that I have. Anyway, point is, getting back to this. This is the, like I said, the Shatra Hantu Yoga. So it's when, say like you've got a malefic, particularly Mars and Saturn. Yeah, I think even the sun, but the sun's a mild malefic, but let's say Mars and Saturn. Now, when they rule a Dusthana house and they are in a Dusthana, now the Dusthana houses are 6, 8, and 12. Yeah, the challenging houses, difficult houses. So if they happen to be the lord of that house and also in that house, it causes this Shatra Hantu Yoga, which gives one the ability to defeat one's enemies, or one's enemies shrivel and die and somehow contribute to your own strength. Sound familiar? Now, in Dr. Ranj's chart, Saturn is the ruler of the 6th house and the 7th house for all Leo ascendants. Yeah, he's a Leo ascendant with Mars in the 1st house in the nakshatra Magha. Yeah, and we all know what happens when you drop the H. What do you get? Magha. Yeah. So when you've got the Mars, the soldier, the warrior, is sitting on the throne of the king. He thinks he's king. Yeah, very bombastic, loud, and over the top. And then he's got Saturn, a chief malefic, a cruel planet, as the lord of the 6th house of enemies, which goes to his 12th house, yeah, which is a Dusthana. So here, the lord of a Dusthana, the 6th house, goes into the 12th, creating this powerful yoga where for years and years and years, Trump has been able to defeat his enemies, yeah, by dragging them into the mud, or they just wither and die. Do you remember what Michael Cohen is always saying? Whatever Trump touches turns into you know what. So there's that. But I think, you know, his luck is starting to run out. Now, you remember what I've said in previous videos? I said things will heat up for him over the summer, but especially once he starts getting into 2023, this is when real heavy duty shoes start to drop. This could be when he's either called to court, or he's charged, or he's found guilty, or something like that. Now, what I need to tell you is that on October 22nd, 2023, now I know that seems like a really long time away, but that's just over a year or so away from now. Snip, snip, Ketu is going to start driving the car. At the moment, he's in the back seat of Jupiter's car. His Mahadasha period is Jupiter. Jupiter is a lucky planet, yeah? This is why he's also been able to enjoy such luck for a while, yeah? Jupiter's time period is 16 years, yeah? But Ketu, snip, snip, is going to start driving the car from that point, yeah? At the moment, it's Mercury. Mercury is driving the car. for Trump. And Mercury is the lord of his 11th house of friends and his 2nd house of money. This is why he's been able to what? Grift money from his friends. What does he do? Mercury is a planet of what? Communications, emails. He sends out his emails in order to gain. Yeah. 11th house is great gains, and he's actually got Mercury in the 11th house. So he's able to gain via communications. Yeah. Because he's in Jupiter dasher, but Mercury is driving the car. However, on the 22nd of October, it changes. Ketu drives the car. Snip is going to come along and start potentially causing what? Losses. Spirituality as well, but we know he's not the most spiritual guy. Yeah? So I know these things take time, but we already see the energies of this stuff happening. For Duck L'Orange, this eclipse, the solar eclipse, is happening in his 3rd house of communications. So again, maybe the emails and stuff are going to malfunction, or he's going to try and raise some kind of civil war type BS, yeah, which of course has been backfiring so far. So could this be a reset of his communications? Even his travel plans. 3rd house also deals with travels. Also means that, again, Uranus and Rahu in his 9th house of law, litigations, expanding those things, potentially expanding his problems. This is difficult, yeah? This is not easy. But the real humdinger is that Saturn and Pluto are here in his 6th house. Saturn has retrograded from sidereal Aquarius, from a sidereal Aquarius over here, back into sidereal Capricorn, which deals with what? Government, rules, regulation, distribution systems of all kinds. The 6th house is what? Battles, fighting, litigation. It's retrograde, which means to what? Review, revise, reassess, recalibrate. The government is reassessing Duck L'Orange. Everyone is now reassessing Duck L'Orange, aren't they? Because they see, some karma is coming. He took papers. Remember as well, look, 3rd house does a communications of all kinds. Mercury, his 11th house lord, is driving the car. Mercury is what? Papers, communications, yeah? His top secret stuff that he's basically taken. And now Saturn has come back, even though it is one of the ones that contributes to this yoga of defeating his enemies. Look, it's in opposition. He's having Saturn opposition and Pluto opposition at the same time. OMG. Difficult. And there it is with Venus, which is the wife, in the middle. Who knows? Maybe it was Melania that accidentally called the FBI for entertainment purposes only. But don't forget this. Venus is the wife. Yeah. Venus is the wife in a man's chart. So he's trying all of these shenanigans. We've also as well got Jupiter here in his 8th house, expanding all of that out. He's got Neptune in the 7th house. 7th house is the house of open enemies. Yeah. Litigation again. So there's a lot of stuff that is coming down the road for Duck L'Orange. But I hope explaining that yoga helped explain why he's been able to defeat his enemies. Let's pull some cards. And then I'll have to leave it there. The hour's gone already. I can't believe it. But I'll give it a few extra minutes. Okay, Duck L'Orange. Oh, do I want to use these cards? No, I need to use my black and white cards for Duck L'Orange, you know, because he is a bit of a sinister, well, not even a bit of a sinister character. He is a sinister character. Let's get that folded off. Oh, look at this. Look what's at the base of the deck. Money changing hands. 6 of Pentacles. Interessante. Let's give a little shuffleage here. All right, Duck L'Orange. What's going on for Duck L'Orange around the eclipse? Oh, cards are jumpy again. Let's see. Let's see what's in store for him before we close the show. I hope you've been enjoying the show. I couldn't get through absolutely everyone's comments, of course. There's hundreds of you. Otherwise, it would all just be a show about reading out comments. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you as well to all the new subscribers. I really appreciate that. You'll see me again, of course, on Hogarth this Saturday, and also as well on Sunday I'm going to be collaborating with Kevin. Remember, I read his chart and stuff like that. I'm going to be on his channel, and more collaborations as well coming up, which I'll announce nearer the time. Okay, let's see what's going on with Duck L'Orange. Oh my god. Moon, Major Arcana. Yeah, he's got, oh, this is hilarious. You'll see what the other card is. Remember, the moon forms part of the eclipse. Things are going to come out of the dark. All of the mysteries, all of that shenanigans that he's been up to, there's going to be disclosure on these certain things. And what's it going to lead to? Here, the obstacle card, 5 of Pentacles, poverty and ruination, being out in the cold, yeah, being expelled from the church. They tried to raise merry hell, and guess what? No one turned up. So it looks like the tide is turning already. What is this all about? His greed, yeah? King of Pentacles, him sitting on the money. This is Duck L'Orange. This is all about him trying to hold on to his wealth and everything. But look, that poverty card is right there. Yeah, that poverty card is right there. The next card he gets is the Chariot. Everything starts moving forward at a pace. Yeah, so September, October, everything is all ratcheting up and heating up for everyone, but him in particular. And what is coming? Look at this, the sun. Full disclosure and illumination of everything. All of the seedy bins is going to come out of the closet, whatever he's been hiding. And look at that. Sun and moon have to come together to cause an eclipse. Yeah, with Rahu. But here they are, literally on talking about the energy of the eclipse around this time for Duck L'Orange. I think it could be devastating for him. There could be more disclosures. He's going to try more of his shenanigans, but it may not work. And with the sun as the outcome card there, that is suggesting that, you know, not everyone, there'll still be the hardcore, but a lot more people will be waking up. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. I've gone over the hour now. Who else did we have? What's this here? I feel that Biden made with McConnell to get this as nominee in the Supreme Court backfired Mitch McConnell because the could well be. Yes. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, was someone saying it? Gicanda Thomas. Oh, the wondrous agony of defeat for Agent Duck L'Orange. I know. Oh, I forgot to say 12th house as well. 12th house is also espionage as well, like the 8th house. Secret enemies, yeah? He's got Saturn and Pluto opposing themselves in his 12th house, which means things from overseas, across the waters, abroad, yeah? Shenanigans, all of that stuff, everything it looks like is going to be coming out. So I want to thank you, everyone, for joining me. If you would like a consultation with me, of course, you can find all of that in the description below. Please tune in, of course, for Hadaiga. Well, so many of you did on the last show. It's amazing. I think we had 1,700. I'm up to 550 here as well. So thank you so much for joining. And then on Sunday, I will be on Kevin's channel, which is the Healing Mystic, isn't it? Yes, the Healing Mystic. Yes. I'll be there close to the time. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. Thank you so much for the donations. I couldn't get through all the comments. So many of you here. And I will see you soon. All right. So that's a bye-bye for now. And thanks so much for joining me. Interesting stuff, in it, for Duck L'Orange particularly. But prayers for Biden and Harris, but prayers for Biden in particular. Let's pray for his health and keeping him well. And that this combination of effects leads to him defeating his enemies. Yeah, let's think about that one. And even enemies abroad. Wink, wink. All right. Bye-bye for now. Cheers.